on hold for a home.
Please say the name of the service you require.
21 years in temporary blood clottation, you know.
Clearly after the beep.
Homeless prevention.
Margaret Eristy has been doing this for 21 years.
Say cancel.
How long have you been without a home?
21 years.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you have been in temporary accommodation for 21 years, it means you have started doing something wrong and you've continued doing that wrong thing day after day, week after week, year after year, decade after decade. She hasn't made no changes. She's been doing the same thing over and over again. How can you expect to get a different outcome if you walk down the same road? Now, I don't want to talk for too long on that, but the reason why I decided, you know what? Man need to buy properties and that. Man need to do something to achieve some sort of financial freedom where I can retire early and that is because when I left the office of Home Saharangay, I remember I saw an older man. He must have thought man was like 20 years old. These times, yeah, I was just like 22 or something. And he said, cheer up, only about 45 years left of this. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Nah, I can't be doing this for another 45 years. I'm walking down the same path as all these other electricians and that. I'm going to have the same outcome as them. They're going to work until they retire. If I want to get off this path, if I want to not have to retire at 65 and retire a lot earlier, then I have to stop doing what I'm doing. So I had to make some changes. I had to go against the grain. I had to think outside the box. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
So I've moved over 45 times in 21 years. This is bed and breakfast. This is temporary accommodation, hotels, and I've never been offered not one per...
Bro, the gal is 40 years old, dressing like she's fucking 21. Look at that hairstyle. She's moving like she's 21. Stuck in a time zone, blood.
Permanent accommodation. Never. Which I think is quite...
She is literally stuck in a time zone. Don't you remember the girls them? Obviously, certainly you lot are too young. Certainly you lot. That's how you know you lot are young, you know. I was going to say, don't you lot remember how the girls used to dress and style their hair in the early 2000s? Certainly you lot weren't even born in the early 2000s, yeah? Or literally just born in the early 2000s. But in the early 2000s and that, that's how the girls used to style their hair. Gel it to the side and that. Yo, this woman's like 40 years old. In her head, she's still in the early 2000s, probably when she was like 19 or something like that.
Disgusting.
Margaret has 11 children.
Oh, what a bomber clot! I have not watched this. This is a natural, authentic reaction. 11 children. She must be 50 then. Pushing 50.
Last 5 weeks, most of her family have been in this hotel. But today, they've been told to move out.
Now, maybe I heard that wrong. One sec. No way.
For the last 5 weeks,
Which I think is quite disgusting.
Margaret has 11 children. For the last 5
I wonder how many baby dads she has.
weeks, most of her family have been in this hotel. But today, they've been told to move out.
We have to take our belongings out of this room and put them on the street. But because there's a newborn baby, we can't stand on the street.
Yeah. She keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake. The fact that you have 11 children and you've been living in temporary accommodation the whole time just proves, it just fucking proves she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing in life. Literally, she keeps making this. How the fuck can you be in temporary accommodation and think, right, me, I'm gonna have 4 more children. Yeah, I think that's the best option right now. Have 4 more children whilst in temporary accommodation. Because she's lived in temporary accommodation for 21 years. She must have dropped about 5 youths in that time if she's got 11 kids. And then these people wonder why they're fucking poor. How? How can you wonder why you're poor? How can you wonder why you're in a shit situation and you've got 11 kids and in that time you've been in temporary accommodation for 21 years? Let's say she had 2 or 3 kids, yeah, and then she got put into temporary accommodation. Right. Until we are in a fixed abode and we have a man that's, you know, able to provide and look after the children, let's not have no more children. Nope. Whilst we're in temporary accommodation, let's start having more and continue to have more children and get knocked up by waste men baby dads. Because no man of value will get this woman pregnant. I'm going to say it again. No man of value would ever get this woman pregnant. No way.
Do you know where you're going to sleep tonight?
No, I don't. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. We're just picking up from one place to another. My children have never had no education. They've never been able to sit an exam. I've got some talented children, and yet we can't find nowhere to have a stable life. It's unfair.
There is nobody available to take your call right now. Please call back at a later time. Goodbye.
Meanwhile, her calls to the council go unanswered.
It's cut off.
How does that make you feel? You try to make the call and there's no one there?
It's frustrating because that's what Newham Council do. And now I've just got to sit down here and keep calling, which means you're using out your credit, if you've got credit, you're using out your phone bill to call Newham Council because nobody can't be bothered to just pick up the phone.
Wow. Do you know what she's basically saying? She can't afford a contract with unlimited minutes. She said credit. When was the last time the word credit came out of your mouth, big man or big girl watching this right now? When was... Sorry, the eBay rascal notification. When was the last time the word phone credit came out of your mouth, let alone the thought entered your head, big man and big gal watching this right now? She can't afford a contract. Do you know what, yeah? In order to get a contract, believe it or not, you need to have a credit score, you know? She probably has no credit. She has no credit. I always believe, and I've been saying this over the years and that, show me a person's credit score and I'll tell you how responsible they are. You know, a person doesn't need to tell me how much money they got in their bank account. They don't need to tell me what they spend their money on and that. In order for me to know how responsible someone is with money, I could just look at their credit score. That will tell me everything I need to know. It's not about how much you earn or how much you don't earn. I just know. Looking at someone's credit score, I know whether they're responsible or not with money. Because it doesn't matter if you're a banker. It doesn't matter if you earn £1 million a year. You can still be irresponsible with money. That's why people like Mike Tyson go, what happened to him? I think he went bankrupt or something like that. He went broke. Anyway, I think there's a few seconds left.
Homeless prevention.
The calls continued all afternoon. Tonight, the family remain all packed up and nowhere to go. On hold.
Fucking crazy. Anyway, respect for you lot tagging me in this video. I think 2 people tagged me in this video still.